Today we're going to be talking about 5 speed drills that are going to help you get faster. So how this video is going to go down is I'm going to explain an exercise, explain a drill that's going to help you guys get faster. I'm going to talk about the reason why you want to do this exercise, because whenever you train, it's always important to know the reason why. We're never just doing drills to do drills. We always have a distinct purpose, and we're focused on something because that's what ultimately helps our game. So I'm going to talk about a drill, talk about the reason why, and then show you guys a full speed version of the drill so it makes more sense. So this first drill we're going over today is something called a straight-legged run. So this is going to be for your foot strike. So whenever you're running, you never want to run flat-footed, right? You never want your heel to ultimately make contact with the ground, because that's not an explosive position, and it's going to allow you to drive your knee up and drive your toe up to have the proper stride length. So we always want to be on the ball of my foot. We don't want to be on my tippy toe, but we want to be on the ball of my foot. So this straight-legged run drill, all you're going to be doing this for is just a 10-yard space. You're going to do about 4 sets of this 10-yard burst. So you were just going to run without bending your knees the best you can. Obviously a little bend is okay, but we're trying to keep my legs as straight as possible. So we're going to be here. Now this drill you physically cannot do if your heels are making contact with the ground. So if you're a flat-footed athlete or just naturally flat-footed, this is a great drill for you to do. So I'm going to show you how this drill is going to look full speed. Now before we get into the full speed example of that straight-legged run, if you're a football player and you want to gain weight this offseason but still maintain your speed, you should be taking a supplement called creatine monohydrate. So at A&G Labs we have a creatine monohydrate that's 100 servings. If you check out that very first link in the description below and use promo code FIRST15 at checkout, we get you 15% off our 100 serving creatine monohydrate. So why do football players need to take this if they want to gain weight but also keep speed? So what creatine does is that pulls essentially the water from your body and hydrates your muscles internally, right? So what that will help you with is strength, explosion, and performance in the gym and on the field. So a lot of times athletes are like concerned, oh, if I'm trying to gain weight this offseason, am I going to slow myself down? If you take a supplement like creatine, it's going to help with just overall performance. You're going to be able to perform in the gym doing the exercises, the workout splits that you need to do to gain weight, but also it's going to help with performance on the field to maintain that explosion and that speed even when doing drills like the ones we'll discuss in this video today. So guys, if you want a great creatine monohydrate, check out that very first link in the description below. Use promo code FIRST15. Let's get back to this video. Now the second drill that we're going to be going over is called a triple hop knee snatch drill. So you're going to do this drill for about 10 yards. You're going to work about 4 sets of 10 yards for this drill. But this drill is solely working on, again, your foot strike, so staying on the ball of your foot, but also activating something in your body called a fast twitch muscle fiber. This drill could be considered a plyometric. So why do athletes want to do plyometrics? How does that help with their speed? So in every single athlete, every single person, you have 2 types of muscle fibers. Technically 3, but let's keep it 2 just to keep it simple. You have slow twitch muscle fibers, and then you have fast twitch muscle fibers, right? There's 2 kinds of fast twitch fibers, but just think slow twitch and think fast twitch. Slow twitch fibers are what like a soccer player would use, right? Constantly jogging, maintaining this pace across the field, wherever they're at, right? So that is something that you want to train. Doing a lot of distance running helps build those slow twitch fibers in your body to help with conditioning. As like football players or an explosive athlete, we obviously use our fast twitch fibers. That's when you're trying to run as hard as you can, you're exerting fast twitch muscle fibers in your body. You're activating them. So you have to train those types of exercises. And how you train that is by exerting all-out effort on the exercises that you do. So this drill, you have to exert all-out effort. So what you are doing, you're going to start out, you're going to be balanced on one foot. You are hopping 3 times. So it's going to be just a hop, hop, then on the 3rd hop, as soon as you hit the ground, you're going to snatch your knee up and snatch your toe up and try to get as high as you can to your chest. Then you're going to land, 1, 2, 3, snatch up again, and you're going to work that for a 10-yard space, 4 sets of 10 yards. I'm going to show you how this will look full speed. Now this next speed drill is going to be called a double A skip, and this is going to be great for hip mobility, hip flexor strength, and obviously your stride length. So when you guys run, the common mistake that a lot of athletes make is they'll almost like cycle behind themselves with their feet, almost like they're doing a butt kicker, right? Their toe is facing down, their heel is facing up towards your butt. Ultimately, we want my toe to be up in a position called dorsiflexion, which is essentially means your ankle is flexed, and you never want your heels facing towards your butt. You want to strike the ground and pop right back up. That's obviously like the stride length that we want. And when I drive up, I want my legs to be at a 90-degree angle. So this drill helps us strengthen that position, get comfortable in that position, and it also works on elements of that ball of the foot strike. So double A skip, like I'm sure you guys have all seen A skips before, just a normal track warm up where you go up, up. So a double A skip is where you're going to hold that A skip position for 2 like hops essentially. So you're coming out here, going again 10 yards for this. Recommend doing 4 sets of 10 with this, but we're coming up, 1, 2, switch, switch, and you're just switching all the way down that 10-yard space. I'm going to show you how this is going to look full speed. So this next drill is going to be called an alternating knee drive and toe drive from like a balanced single leg position. I know that's a lot, but I'm going to show you this drill will look full speed. It'll obviously make more sense, but this is going to be working on strengthening your hip flexors and obviously that stride length, right? Because to get your knee up and your toe up to this 90-degree position, if you have weak hip flexors, it's going to be very hard for you to drive your knee up, and you're not going to be as explosive with your strides and that knee drive, which ultimately translates to speed. So this is a drill, you kind of need a partner for this drill. If you don't have a partner with this drill, you just want to do it off of a 2-second count. So you're going to stand with your hands on your hips. Your knee is going to be up at a 90-degree position. Perfect ankle flex. You don't want your ankle facing down, ankle facing up, or excuse me, toes facing up, and perfect 90 degrees, hands on hips. Your opposite foot that's on the ground, you want to be on the ball of your foot. And when your partner claps or after that 2-second count, you're going to switch. And when you switch, you're going to work on trying to hold this 90-degree position, and you're going to feel this in your hip flexor, but that's a good thing. That's what we were trying to work on. And you're going to do a series of those switches for about 5 to 6 reps. So I'm going to show you how this should look full speed, how you guys can be balanced on this. Like I said, maybe about 5 to 6 reps and 3 sets total. Now, as an athlete, especially a football player, what are you constantly doing? You're constantly working out in the gym, constantly working out on the field. You are wearing down the muscle tissue in your body. So a great way to repair that muscle tissue is by consuming protein. As an athlete, if you're trying to gain weight, you're trying to, but I guess you could say, have optimal performance in the off season, you want to try to consume 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight to speed up the recovery process. So if that's going to be kind of tough to do, if you're 170 pounds, 180 pounds, trying to get to that weight, so supplementing with a great protein powder, a great whey protein powder, is a great way to hit your daily protein goals. So if you guys would like a great protein powder that's easy on the stomach, very light to take, A&G Labs, check out that second link in the description below and use that same promo code FIRST15 at checkout, and you get 15% off our whey protein powder. We have salted caramel, vanilla, and chocolate flavors, so if you guys like one of those flavors, again, second link in that description below to help with your protein needs this off season. Now, this next drill for speed and agility is going to be for your arm swings, right? It's pretty tough to make a video about speed training, speed and agility without mentioning the arms in your running form or running mechanics, right? So when we run, to be able to get, I guess, the most out of my upper body, with your arms, the 2 things that you want to try to avoid is going across your body, because that's moving your body and almost rotating your body, not keeping you in a straight line. Shortest distance between 2 objects is straight across, obviously. And the other thing you want to avoid is your elbow flattening out. So you want to keep a 90-degree angle the entire time and go right past your pockets, right up to your cheek. Some people say go from cheek to cheek, like butt cheek to face cheek, but you want to stay at 90 degrees and let your shoulders swing you through the motion. So this is a great drill to make sure that we are doing that properly. So what you're doing is you're just going to be simply kneeling down. Right knee's going to be on the ground. You could alternate sides, of course, but it's really the same benefit. And you're going to start out nice and slow, and then for a 8 seconds only, an 8-second burst, you're going to go as fast as we can. And if we are flattening out with my elbows, my knee is not going to bounce up and down. If I'm going across, my knee is not going to bounce up and down. But if I'm swinging at my shoulders, that forces my knee to bounce up and down. So I'm going to show you how this should look full speed. Again, for a hard 8-second count, recommend doing about 3 to 4 sets of that.